Hi there everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Christy here doing the weekly reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is for the week of November 21st through to November 28th. With the moon moving through Sagittarius this weekend while I do your readings, I'm going to theme your readings around higher learning and awareness. So this is a general reading for your sign. Whatever is most prominent in your life, I encourage you to take these messages and apply them to, and I hope that you find them helpful and healing. So what does Aquarius need to know about higher learning and awareness this week? I just want to take a second and thank each and every one of my subscribers. It really makes my day that this is valuable to you. So thanks so much for your vote of confidence in me and encouraging me to continue doing this work. And for anyone who doesn't enjoy the shuffling or doesn't have the time, you can check out the scroll bar below where you can see when the cards are laid on the table and the reading begins. It's usually around the 3-minute mark. But if you do like the shuffling like I do, stick around. We're just looking for 3 jumpers. I thought it was gonna fall. Let's keep going. There we are. Ooh, lots of energy for you this week, especially near the end of the week for you, Aquarius. So we do have Ant representing you this week. This is patience. Elk is in the influence to your current position. This is self-esteem. And then we have Owl as your probable outcome. This is deception. Let's look at why that might be a misnomer. And then here with general energy being the Hawk. And here we're looking at messages. So we have 2 really what I would consider major arcana style energy cards. We're looking at both the Owl and the Hawk here. No surprise here that they're both winged animals. But anytime we're looking at issues of the spirit or we're looking at major arcana, that's a term from the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, where we're looking at the 22 cards that are the highest energy cards out of the rest of the 55 in the deck. This is what we're looking at here. So really high energy cards. So we're going to pay a little bit more attention to these guys and move through these guys here. Ant represents you this week. This is where you're going to either exhibit patience or you're being asked to use some patience with the matter that is most significant to you this week. I see that self-esteem precedes this, so it could be that you merely just need to be patient with yourself this week more than anything, or if you feel like your self-esteem has been somehow conflicted or there is some bruise to that somehow, just be patient with this. As I've been saying for other signs this week during the Sagittarian moon readings, we're looking at issues of maybe passing a test. So if anything feels like it's a bit of a trial this week, you know, if you consider that it's just a test to get to the next level, that's important for your well-being and for your personal growth, it might be a little bit easier to get through the week that way. On the other hand, if someone is projecting any negativity in your environment or is being a difficult person for any reason, you'll want to project patience back at them. You won't be wanting to act as a mirror, for example. If someone is being difficult with you, you don't want to be difficult with them. You'll want to, you know, be that voice of reason. And in order to do that, you need to be patient with the other person, maybe even try to identify where they're coming from. And that way you can identify with them and you can exhibit patience, and then they'll probably pick up on that energy and treat you likewise. Ultimately, you want to be patient with yourself primarily, but with other people and with processes this week. And as I mentioned, Elk is in the influence to your current position. This is where we're looking at issues of self-esteem. Anytime we're looking at matters where how we feel about ourselves and where we fit in the world, it's always interesting to see the cards that are preceded or around it. And I feel just because we have two very, very strong cards here, it's almost like you feel like you're struggling between maybe you're just kind of ordinary, maybe you're just kind of your dreams, goals, wishes, thoughts, habits, etc. You know, anything that makes up you as a self. You know, it's just maybe there's something typical, maybe you're just ordinary, maybe there's nothing special. But because of these other cards here, with regard to having patience with yourself, it's almost like you need to understand that you're not ordinary, and there is something unique and special about what you do and what you present and how you go about things. It doesn't mean that you're better than, but it does mean that you can clue into, or you can tap into what makes you unique, right? And then you can capitalize on that. You can use that to your advantage with no apology, because it is what makes you unique. It's yours by virtue of you giving it to yourself, of you being this way. You don't need anyone's permission to do this. There could be some shyness around that as well, and I completely understand that. You know, being your true self, I mean, it's very difficult. This is why people drink, for heaven's sakes, right? I mean, we need this sort of like social lubricant so we can be ourselves, so we can be unique, or we can be different, or we can have different interests and not really worry too much about what people think of that, or where who we fit in with, because we're going to find those people the more we are our true selves. You're going to find that naturally. So let's pay attention here to owl. Its key word from the book is deception, but I'm going to suggest that someone may be trying to deceive you, if not you yourself. You could be trying, and let me clarify, you could be trying to talk yourself out of being extraordinary, right? Here with self-esteem, here with patience with yourself. You could be trying to say, you know what, no, I'm not going to take that chance. I'm not going to push myself in the direction I really, really want, or that I really desire, or that I really feel compelled. You know, you might try to talk yourself out of that. And this is saying you could be closing the door on yourself here by not accepting who you really are, which is a really powerful person. So let's look at some of the imagery first of all. Owl, anytime we're looking at owls, we're looking at psychic energy, we're looking at moon energy, we're looking at anything having to do with the night, anything having to do with the dark necessarily. Remember that it takes one candle to light the dark as well. So dark isn't necessarily a negative thing. It means going into the darkness, going into the deepest part of yourselves, understanding who it is you really are. You know, what is your self-esteem built around? Is it built on sand, or is it solid? And a nice way of learning how to do this is to understand about yourself that you truly are perhaps more powerful than you give yourself credit for, okay? So other elements with regard to this card is that this is related to witches and warlocks. It's also related to witchcraft and magic. So if you are indeed a psychic person or interested in the psychic arts or the occult in general, this could be a nice time for you to pick up occult practices. Maybe you've been interested in reading tarot, for example, or interested in doing something that's unique in your world, right, to your peer group or to your social group. and say, you know what, no, I'm going to try this. This is maybe a little bit out in quote unquote left field, but I'm going to try this because it not only involves, but it boosts your self-esteem, okay? So it's really just about being honest with yourself here. And again, here with Hawk, we're looking at issues of a messenger, either acting as the messenger or listening for messages. Being able to communicate with other people about these types of themes for you this week will be really important. So feel free to reach out if that's the case. You can always look up people who have the same interests in you and find out where they began or how they got along with this process, especially if there's anything touching on issues of self-esteem with regard to really pushing yourself out of the box, so to speak, out of the ordinary, I would say. So if you are interested in such things, really let yourself go there. Let yourself try those things. Not that other people will be giving you a lot of negative feedback about that, but there could be some social pressure, okay? Either family pressure or just, you know, the environment you live in. Perhaps you live in a very religious environment, for example, and these types of things are frowned upon, that type of thing. Here we have imagined, so ultimately beautiful. Listen, this is really about you creating the future that you want. This is using your imagination to its highest good if you want it to. Anything can be used or misused. Remember that, right? Anything. So if you use your imagination to the highest realms, to the highest possibilities, to your advantage, right? Accepting yourself, loving yourself, being yourself, exactly who you are, raising your self-esteem, being patient during the process, recognizing that you are a soulful, magical, very likely psychic individual, or at least can tap into psychic energy here, looking at or messages or acting as a messenger. This could lead you to enormous fulfillment this week, to practice your imagination. What is possible, right? I mean, this is very exciting. Remember too, when we talk about things like magic is literally a change in consciousness. That's all it is. It's just a change in consciousness. Why people are afraid of it, I don't know. I think if people are afraid of it, it's because they're afraid of their own personal power. And too bad for them. You don't need to do that. Here with forgiveness, there could be an element of forgiveness this week where you'll need to project this into your circle of either friends, family, or love affairs, or you'll need to respect yourself around an issue of forgiveness. Either you need to let something go that you've done, said, or didn't do, or didn't say, or with someone external to you. Maybe you just need to forgive yourself for not figuring this out sooner, or feeling bad about something here, or not giving yourself what you truly needed, or you need to forgive someone else for standing in your way or not believing in you the way that you needed to be believed in right now. So I really hope that this was helpful for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much for being here today. If you have a second, comment below. I love hearing from you. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel. You can do that, as well as like my video. That really helps me out. Until then, check out your moon and rising sign readings for additional clarity for the week. And until next time, bye for now.